Hello and welcome to today's National 8A webinar. The National 8A Association is a nonprofit with the mission to provide education and guidance for all aspiring and current graduate 8As. We are also proud to work with all types of minority small businesses, agencies, and large primes. Before we begin, please note that this webinar is being recorded and all presentation materials will be available on our website after the session. Today's topic is Mastering the Conference Prep, Tips for Successful Event Experience at the National 8A Small Business Conference. For those who don't know me, I'm Melissa Saws, the Executive Director of the National 8A Association. So let's dive into the event overview. This year's conference will take place from February 11th to 13th at the Hyatt Regency in New Orleans. Discounted lodging rates are available at the Hyatt until January 17th, and late registration is still open until January 24th, so there's still time to secure your spot. Our conference is designated for all small businesses, not just 8As. Are you looking to grow your small business and succeed in the federal contracting space? This is the event you should be at. So going into some event highlights, we are expecting over 2,500 attendees, and most will be small businesses, agency representatives, and key decision makers. The conference will feature 130 or over 130 exhibitor booths, 2.5 days of educational sessions, and networking opportunities, including matchmaking. With that said, I'll turn it over to Tara, who will kind of dive more into all of those details for the conference.
All right. Good afternoon or morning for our West Coast folks, and thanks so much for joining us today. Today I'm going to be kind of going over some of the logistical things to get you best prepared for the event next month. So first off, we'll talk about the conference agenda. And so let's see. So the conference will begin on Tuesday, but we do have registration and exhibitor move in on Monday, February 10th. If you're an exhibitor, logistics emails have been sent out and we will review this later on in the deck. On Tuesday, February 11th, we will have conference registration and exhibitor move in first thing in the morning. With the exhibit hall pre-intensive education sessions and meet the experts in the afternoon. That evening, we'll be hosting the VIP reception sponsored by Mahorsky Group. The VIP reception is by invite only and is for Member Plus members who purchase membership before January 27th and select sponsors and speakers. On Wednesday, the conference and matchmaking registration will begin first thing in the morning, followed by breakfast and the exhibit hall opening. At 9 a.m., you won't want to miss general session beginning. We have representatives from the Department of Homeland Security, SBA, and DoD, followed by lunch, matchmaking, and the breakout education sessions in the afternoon. At 5 p.m., join us in the exhibit hall on floor 1 in Elite Hall for the full conference networking reception. And then on Thursday, we have our conference and matchmaking registration open all day, breakfast and the exhibit hall opening at 8 a.m. General session will begin at 9 a.m. with SBA representatives, our OSDBU panel, and the National 8A Awards. In the afternoon, the conference will close out with lunch, followed by educational breakout sessions and matchmaking. You can find the full detailed agenda now on our conference website. This will include session titles, timing, locations, and speakers. All right. Registration hours. As mentioned, we will have our registration will be on floor 1 in the elite foyer outside of the exhibit hall. Feel free to screenshot this, take a photo, so you know exactly where and when to go to pick up your registration badge. The info desk will also be near registration and open the same hours as registration. All right, moving on to our map and floor plan. So the here you will find a full map of the area. As mentioned, the exhibit hall, reception, and registration info desk will be on floor 1. The breakout rooms, matchmaking, meet the experts, and the SBA clinic will be on level 2. And then the general session and meals will be on level 3. We'll have multiple opportunities and materials for maps for you all, including the app, expo guide, programs. We have a lot of information that we'll be giving to you guys on site to help you navigate your way through the space. Next, we'll go over briefly our exhibit hall. Again, we'll have this information posted in multiple different locations, but the red arrow here is indicated where you enter. There is only one entrance into the hall. We have over 130 booths. The exhibit hall will also have a networking lounge and meals in the far left area. You can see kind of the space right in the middle. That's actually just a hall that you can walk through. So while this hall may look like it's 2 separate rooms, it's all one big room that you can go back and forth through. For our exhibitors on the line, please note that setup will be Monday afternoon and Tuesday morning, with the hall opening up at 1 p.m. on Tuesday. We ask that all exhibitors have their booths set up at that time. You are not required to staff your booth. However, to gain maximum exposure, we recommend that you have staff available at a minimum during breaks, breakfast, lunch, and dedicated exhibit hall hours. We cannot guarantee your items will be secure, so we recommend not leaving any valuables unattended. Breakdown in the exhibit hall will be on Thursday from 4 to 7 p.m. We ask that exhibitors refrain from breaking down until the allocated breakdown time. So next we will go over, and here again is those hours. Next we'll go over the conference app. We will have a conference app available on site. In the app, you can bookmark your session, speakers you'd like to hear, and build out a personal schedule for the week. You can look up exhibitors, speakers, and attendees that have opted into the app. And we will also be using the app for on-the-go conference announcements. So to download the app, feel free to scan the code here, or you can find the app in the Apple Store or Google Play Store by searching for N8A events. Currently, you can download the app now, but we will be sending out login information to our attendees next week. I would highly recommend preparing today by downloading the app, and then again, that information will be sent out so you can log in and start building out your schedule for the week. National A-Day Association Awards. For the 2025 conference, we will be hosting the National A-Day Association Awards. The National A-Day Association Awards will recognize outstanding A-Day businesses across the country. Those award categories will include A-Day Business of the Year in the developmental stage, A-Day Business of the Year in the transitional stage, and A-Day Business of the Year who have graduated. All nominees must be attendees of the conference and must be present to win and in good standing with the SBA. The nominations are now open, and you can find that on our website to submit a nomination, and it'll be open until January 24th. If you would like a PDF version rather than using our form online, please reach us at events@national8aassociation.org, and we can send that over for you. All right, next we will go into our contract connections. So here you'll see that registration does mirror the registration for the full conference, but in a different location. So on Tuesday, February 11th, you'll see that registration is open from 8 to 5:15 in the Empire Foyer. On Wednesday, the registration will be open from 7:30 to 5 p.m. in the Empire Foyer. And then in the afternoon from 1:30 to 5, that's when contract connections will be going on in the Empire Ballroom. For Thursday, February 13th, the registration and info desk will be from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Empire Foyer, and contract connections will be taking place 1:30 to 5 p.m. again in the Empire Ballroom. For those of you that are not familiar with our contract connections, meetings will be one-on-one and 10 minutes each. Matches will be prearranged by the National 8A Association based on the buyer requirements. Each company receives one schedule. Multiple attendees from the same company can participate. For meeting guarantees, we cannot guarantee meetings for all suppliers, and the matches depend on the alignment between your capabilities and the buyer's interests or availability. Some important dates here, January 13th, which is now passed, is the buyer preference selections are now open. On Friday this week, the buyer preference selections will close. So we highly recommend going in there now. On January 17th is the deadline to complete your profile. So if you have not yet completed your profile, please do so as soon as possible, but at a minimum by the end of the week. On January 28th, we will be providing those schedules. So for those of you that need to register for matchmaking, there is an opt-in option in registration. So if you have not registered for the conference yet, when you're going through your registration piece, there will be a question that asks if you are interested in participating in contract connections. Please select yes, and then you will choose if you are a buyer or supplier. If you are a supplier, there will be some additional questions that will be asked to help complete your profile. For those of you that have already registered and submitted yes, or if you would like to change your answer to yes or no, you can update your matchmaking interest or information by reaching out to our matchmaking team directly. You can reach them at matchmaking@national8aassociation.org. And then for the suppliers that may be registering after January 17th, unfortunately, you will not receive pre-scheduled meetings, but the late registrants can visit the Contract Connections info desk at the event to check in for appointment availability, as we will be doing open call. So just some tips here for our matchmaking contract connections folks. Please bring a copy of your meeting appointments, business cards, capability statements, and marketing materials. There's no need to check in for your meetings at the information desk unless you have any schedule changes or cancellations. Please plan to arrive at the Empire Foyer 10 minutes prior to your meeting to line up in the confirmed appointments queue. The event coordinators will make announcements in the front of the room at each meeting start time to allow suppliers with appointments to proceed to their buyer's table. If you do have back-to-back meetings, you will need to exit the room and then come back and line up in the confirmed appointments queue again. This helps for our team to keep a super smooth transition between those quick sessions. For our buyers, please plan to arrive at the Contract Connections room about 30 minutes prior to your meeting scheduled start time. Again, that's in the Empire Foyer. And please check in at the buyer check-in table. Each buyer will be assigned a table number and will be provided their schedule with supplier information. Event coordinators will make announcements in the front of the room at each meeting start time to allow suppliers with appointments to proceed to their buyer's table. Next up, we'll discuss the Meet the Experts and SBA Clinic. As we've done in years past, we will be hosting Meet the Experts on Tuesday afternoon, as well as the SBA Clinic on Wednesday and Thursday afternoon. To sign up for these sessions, we'll be sending out an email to all attendees. You don't want to miss these important discussions by signing up before the conference. We'll be sending out information on how to sign up, who's available, what representatives will be available, and some session topics for Meet the Experts. So that concludes all of our content for today. At this time, we wanted to turn it over to the group to see if you had any questions. We'll get to as many questions as we can here, but if there's any that we are unable to get to, our next slide will have some contact information, but you can either reach out at info@nationaladassociation.org, events@nationaladassociation.org, association.org, or matchmaking at nationaladassociation.org. If you want to put any questions here in the chat, we will start taking some of those questions, or you can put it in the Q&A.
So I can just jump into a couple questions that we were getting in the Q&A, just in case anybody else isn't following those. For matchmaking, just to clarify, the meetings are based per company, not per individual. So if you do have multiple people coming from your company and signing up for matchmaking, just know that those meetings will be based on the company itself. So it'll be maxed amount for that particular company, not per individual participating. However, you both, or the three of you, whoever many you are, can participate in that meeting together. And then I'm not sure if you know this directly, Tara, what the date is the matchmaking schedules will be sent out. If not, we can defer to the matchmaking team as well.
Yes, so matchmaking schedules will be sent out on January 28th. So if you have not heard from us after the 28th, please feel free to reach out to our team directly. Again, that's at matchmaking@nationaladassociation.org.
Another one of the questions is regarding the app. Looks like some people are having some difficulties downloading app at this moment. If you are having some difficulties, we will look into that for you. But also know that if you are an attendee, you'll be receiving those steps on how to actually access the app along with your login credentials in an email directly to you closer to the event.
Yes. Let's see. Do you have the dates for the Alaska conference? We will be announcing that at the conference. So more to come on our Alaska event. I've seen a few questions in here asking if the slides are going to be shared. Yes, we will be posting this on our website. So all these slides will be available for those that want to review before the conference. But again, we'll be sending out a lot of attendee information as far as links to the app, links to the map, links to the exhibitors. So we're going to keep constant contact with all of our registered attendees so that you have everything that you need to best prepare for the event.
Another question we were getting is, will the slides be able to be viewed after this? Yes, we'll be posting it on our website, and you'll also get a notification that it's posted on the website as well.
I do see here a question about the hotel. Currently, the last that we did check this morning, there are certain nights that are sold out, but we do have some nights sold out or still available. There's a very limited quantity. We have already added as many as we can at this time. So unfortunately, we'll be not adding any additional rooms to our room block. So we highly suggest, if you have not booked your room, the cutoff date is January 17th. So this Friday, we highly recommend you going in there and booking your room as soon as possible. Let's see. Somebody had asked about your match companies being posted in the app. The app will not have a list of companies that you are specifically matched with. So those schedules unfortunately, the systems don't necessarily talk. So that's why we ask that you bring a copy of your schedule because you will not see that in the app.
Another question regarding kind of matchmaking is if buyers were going to be in the expo hall as well. While some agencies and large primes do have exhibit booths, they will mainly be doing the matchmaking portion in the Empire Hall exclusively. You could be able to meet them in their sessions or in the expo hall. It just depends on which ones you are looking for, but they're only doing matchmaking in that particular room.
And I see your
Another question is about the SBA clinic meetings. So those are specifically on the certifications. They will also be doing review of the 8A applications and hoping to be able to certify 8As on site at the conference. So if you're interested in either having someone review your package, if you have questions specifically on something as you're preparing your package, that's where you want to sign up because you'll have a 20-minute meeting to meet with that direct SBA expert.
let's see. We had a question here. For matchmaking meetings, is it preferred that we have capability statements printed out for takeaway or forward PDF or link? So we did request that information from our suppliers so that we can help best match you, but we do recommend you have some printed copies or a way that you can share that with the buyers. Another question here, if your company is not selected for one-on-ones with a buyer agency, will you be assigned another buyer agency? So for this, if you are not selected, we will be doing open call. So you can always check in with the matchmaking team in the Empire Foyer for folks that might have open availability during matchmaking. So we highly recommend if you to come and visit us in the foyer. So I see a few questions in here kind of asking for people that might be first timers for the conference. Please note that we have, we have people who are thinking about getting their 8A, people that have had their 8A for a while, graduated 8As. It's really for all folks that are working in the government contracting industry. We really don't, it's not open to only 8A businesses. We have availability for kind of all different walks of life. So we have, as we mentioned in the earlier slides, we have large prime contractors, we have federal agencies, we have some small businesses, we have businesses with 2 employees, we have small businesses with 200 employees. So we really see all walks of life at the event. We really highly recommend visiting the exhibit hall, introducing yourself. There's a lot of really great resources in our exhibit hall. Really looking at the networking opportunities and not missing out on those additional opportunities. For those of you that might be new in the program, really looking at those educational sessions, kind of seeing what might be the best fit for you, and really taking advantage of all the resources and opportunities that we're providing on site. And then let me see.
Some people are asking about exhibitors. You'll be able to see the exhibitor list once you download the app, once that's available for you, and then you can be able to see the list of exhibitors there. And others are asking about attendees. You'll see who are attendees there as well. You just won't have access to a full list, and you'll have to log in order to have like chat capabilities.
All right. And just to reiterate here for some of the folks asking if any 8A company can join us, whether they have their 8A or not. Again, for all the folks that work in GovCon, the conference is open.
Tara, do you want to jump in to talk about more of the lead retrieval? I think that's kind of what one of these questions are about tracking who you meet.
Yes, so we will have lead retrieval available for our exhibitors. If you are an exhibitor, you should have received an email regarding how to do the lead, the costs, and any additional information on how to select those. If you have not seen that come through, or we need to resend, please reach out to myself. You can reach me at info@national8association.org. That comes directly to me, and I will put you in contact with the right people, and I can make sure that you have all of that information. We have been sending out exhibitor additional information as well, as far as setups and schedules for that. So if you have not been receiving those, please let us know so that we can update your profile. This year is a little bit different for those of you that are exhibitors. Um, you will be registering your booth separately than your attendees. So, for example, if you go through the system and you register your booth under X name, they are not considered an attendee. You will receive a kickback confirmation email that will give you steps on how to register your attendees. We found that this new process is what we're seeing across industry standards with conferences. And so if you need to update that information, or if you need us to resend that confirmation email to explain how to register your attendees, please let us know. We're more than happy to assist, and we would love for you to reach out sooner rather than later so that there's no confusion on site. So I see some questions here about how many people that we have in matchmaking. I can share that we have over 150 buyers. So we do expect a lot of buyers. Again, these are going to be 10-minute meetings with lots of different suppliers. So that is kind of where we're at number wise, which is very comparable in years past.
Don't think I'm really seeing any other new questions. But if you guys have any other additional questions, we have our contact information on the slide here with info@national8association.org, events, and the matchmaking team as well. So if you email any of them, we will be able to direct the question and get you the answer that you're looking for. And like we said before, we will be posting this recording and the slides on our website, likely before the end of this week, maybe even tomorrow. But please look out for that. If you guys have any other questions, please reach out to us.
Absolutely. And just to mirror what Melissa said, thank you so much for joining us today. We're really, really excited for the event next month. I can't believe it's already here. And so we're really excited to see you all. If you see Melissa or I at the conference, please don't hesitate to come and say hi. We're excited. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.